Hey guys. Okay, I am like in mismatched everything. I kind of threw on clothes this morning because I got home last night late and then got up this morning bright and early to take my little guy to kindergarten orientation, and just jump right back into mom life. My husband is traveling this week. We're gonna go join him, and just had to hit the ground running. But I wanted to take a minute to give an update while it's on my mind. I don't know that I will have time to edit this or any of that, but I thought that I would just kind of talk through some of my thoughts and things post show for the people who've been asking, so what does this mean? You won and then you didn't win. Like, what does it all mean? So first, I want to start with just some context on heading into this show, which I talked about in my last YouTube video, but the sound cut off halfway through. This has been a really successful endeavor so far, but I love being able to share longer format videos. So my hope and plan was to get on stage in Pittsburgh to test the waters for this year after, placing pretty consistently at nationals and then really falling out of that at the end of the year. Yes, I took time away from the stage, but it truly has not been that long where it was a huge off season, So we were like, if we're just not even close, if we're not even within striking distance, let's just take this year off. It's a lot of time, it's a lot of energy. I am so tired today. I just feel like you could just see it in my eyes, and my just my face is very tired, but I feel really good as well. Outside of being a little sick, which I'll get to, but we were just like, let's get on a good stage, good judges, good competitors, and see where we land. And so mentally in my head, I was like, if I'm not in the top 5 at this show, I'm gonna pull back this season, unless I'm like, oh, those top 5 people were all so strong, such strong competitors, And so I was hoping that I would land in that top 5. I was like, man, I'd be so grateful to be in that mix again. I've made changes. I've worked so dang hard. I would love to see myself in the mix at this show. Outside of that, the goal that I had, because I always set a goal outside of placing, was to have my routine not be rushed. And you guys, I feel really good about my routine. I feel so good about it. I'm like, it's the first time that I've watched my video and been like, yes, there are things that need to be fixed. But I am I see the progression and I see the progress, and I'm so grateful to that. So many hours of working on posing and studying, and just a lot of hours of work went into that, and feel really, really good and grateful on that. So I was sick going into the show. If you follow my Instagram, you'll know I was just feeling pretty crappy, and I got better, better enough. That I felt pretty good about it, but just I've had a lingering head cold. And before I talk about this, I want you to know I don't even want to bring it up, which is funny, but I think a lot of times as competitors, it's easy to justify certain things, right? And people will do this where they'll be like, well, this, and this happened on show day and it all went wrong. And yeah, that's true. There are things that can impact your show day for sure that happen. And I'm not saying that they don't, but I'm also saying that when the most important pieces are laid down, when the muscularity is there, when the conditioning is there, when the time and effort into the presentation is there, those things are not going to impact you as much as when one of those is off. So for example, people will be like, well, I didn't do really well because my peak went bad. And it's okay, yes, true. True. I'm not saying that that's not true, but maybe you're also a little bit under muscled, let's talk about these other factors that are impacting it. Or people will say, I got my cycle and it ruined everything, which can be true. And I got my cycle on show day, you guys, 7 days late. Anyway, I'll get to that. But if you're not conditioned enough to begin with, then that's going to feel like a bigger deal. Does that make sense? So it's I want to bring up the context, but it is not to be well, this and this is why, I got that. I truly feel like I looked the best that I've ever looked. So these things happened and they made the day challenging for me, but I do not think that they impacted my placing. So I was sick going into it. I got to Pittsburgh, and I still felt fine, but I have just had this congestion that's been really tricky, and I haven't been able to take anything, and so I wasn't sleeping great, really bad headache just for days, was not taking anything. Got there, got a really good night of sleep the day that I got to Pittsburgh, and then kind of had crappy sleep the night of the show, and woke up feeling like so congested. I think it's allergies, maybe a little bit of a lingering something or other. But that was really tricky with the makeup, because I like felt like I could not blow my nose all day because I had so much makeup on my face, you know, and just ultimately so tired, like so tired of like my body not feeling great and then trying to get everything ready to go. And then also, like I said, my cycle did start on show day. It was supposed to start like 5 to 7. I can't remember exactly. I know I just said the number. Now my brain is in a fog. But it was supposed to start way before, and then like worst case scenario, it was going to start 2 days before, and then it started on show day, which was fine. Like I said, I don't think that it impacted things, but just another layer, as the ladies will know, when you are, you know, in and out of a suit, it's just another layer. So that piece was interesting, but all of that said, holy cow, you guys, like, I really liked the way that I looked going into this show. I felt really, really good about it. And despite being like, I felt a little bit like a zombie all day on show day, like I had a moment before finals where I was like, I literally feel like half asleep right now. Like I'm just not like as with it as I normally am. And I could tell that, but I don't think that impacted me either. Outside of that, just like a really, really cool experience to be there in Pittsburgh and to step on stage. And so at this show in particular, there are a few shows like this throughout the year. Ben Weeder that I did last November was a similar structure. You have to win your class, and then you have to win in the overall to go pro. And so obviously I was ecstatic to be in the first call out when I first came out on Masters, because my first time competing as a master. In the Masters category, you to again win your class, win in the overall. And just to be totally transparent, like while I'm so proud of it, I also want to share the full context that there was a short Masters class, Class A, that I was in, and then a taller Masters Class B, that another competitor was in. I won in A, she won in B, and she ultimately won in the overall. And oh man, there was a lot of feelings like associated with that. And I just want to say, like, you can be both. Again, I think it sometimes feels like a cliche thing to talk about, but I just want to be honest, like that it hurt. It was very hard. It took my breath away almost. And not because, hopefully by now the people who know me know, I don't go into shows expecting anything. I don't have like this like I'm never going to be the one who's like, I'm going pro this show. And not because I don't believe in myself. I do. I believed it. I felt it. But also because I know how much those other competitors work. And I know you could work at this for 20 years and never go pro. I'm just going to be honest. You can. It's just the truth, you know? It could be anyone's days. And I see myself and I see all the room I have to improve and to grow. But I want to be open about it, because one thing I'm really trying to embrace this season is your feelings in. Like, how you are feeling is okay. I care about this so much at the end of the day. Like, I have put my heart and soul into it. And so it's okay to have moments where you're scared. It's okay to have moments where you are a little bit heartbroken. It's okay to have moments that, like, whoa, take your breath away, because they do make the highs so much higher when something is not given to you easily, right? Which I've talked about before. But yeah, got first in prejudging. The competitor that I was going up against, she, like, honestly, she looked really, really good. She had really good stage presence, and I know the mistakes that I see that I personally made, but I felt good about it. Like, going into the overall, I was like, I feel good. And had to take a minute, like, backstage to just, like, whoa, like, just sit with it and to be like, whew. And the nicest expediter, I wish I knew his name, because he's been at every national show that I've been at, and I'm gonna get to know him this year, I hope. He just, like, he looked me in the eye. He was like, sit down. He looked me in the eye. He was like, your time is coming. Like, it is okay. Like, you are okay. And he was so kind to me. But I just wanted to share that, like, yeah, it's super cool that I placed first and it's amazing. But I did fall short when it came to the Masters overall, and it was very within sight. And so that's something that I'm gonna have to like sit with and live with. And seeing the videos, seeing everything, I don't have any feelings. I'm not like, oh, like I smashed, you know what I mean? Like she looked great. All of that aside, I see the flaws that I had and have and can work through, I'm very hard on myself, if you haven't been able to tell. But got some feedback from the judges who confirmed that it was very close, split decision, which I don't know that makes me feel better or worse or how that makes me feel. But at the end of the day, if I already said that 3 times, I'm just like, dang, I was friggin' first, and that's so cool. In the open category, I took second in my class, which is freaking so exciting to me. And also, I kind of had a feeling, like I was like, I just think that I'm gonna get second. I watch how I did at comparisons at this show in both Masters and in Open. I undoubtedly did not do my best. So I felt really good about my routine, but I stumbled in comparisons in a few different ways. And again, always have room to grow and improve my physique as well, in a big way. So while there was yeah, like there are certain things that I would say, as a coach, I feel like I had, and certain things that she had, her presentation was phenomenal and she was super nice. Obviously I want to win, but I felt very neutral and just like proud about placing second. And so yeah, like I would say successful, very successful day, also day that I'm just still sitting with, to be so close, to have them tell me that some of the judges were like, I put you there. It's feelings that you got to sit with, right? So I think the biggest thing now, the biggest like place that this leaves me is what to do next. I told myself, if I'm in the top 5, I'm gonna run it this year. Like I'm gonna go and I'm gonna keep competing. And what's funny is that now to be in this place, and someone, you'll have to tell me if anyone's watching this who can like relate to this feeling, I would love to know. But then to get so close and yet be not there, it's almost made it like, do I want to keep going this season? Like it's kind of had like a different effect where I just have to really think through it, because I can see again the areas that I could improve, and I think some of them are going to come from time. So something to know, especially for people who are not in the bodybuilding world that are watching this, is that your placings are not linear. Like they are not. And so it feels amazing, and I'm celebrating placing in the top 2 in both of my classes. And I could compete tomorrow and I could place 10th. I could compete next week and I could place first. I could compete and I could place, like, it's not this linear thing. So the thing that you really have to focus on is, am I progressing? Like, am I closing in on the criteria? Am I closing in on the marker? And so that ultimately needs to guide you, because, I've had a couple people message me who aren't in the bodybuilding world. And they're like, next, like you're going to win. And I appreciate the hype and I love it. And I believe that I can do that. And I could place 7th, it's the name of the game. And so I have to really sit for a minute and like, what do I want this year to look like? Part of me has felt like, okay, well, last year what I did was I kind of based my next step on like what happened at a show. So it was like, okay, if this happens, then I'll do another show. Or if this happens, then I'll do another show. And part of me wants to say, if I'm going to compete this year, I almost want to like pick 3 shows and be like, boom, boom, boom. Whatever happens, I'm ending at this point. So it's like there is a clear ending point for the year where I'm going to go into an off season. And even if I'm like 1 spot away again, I still need to like call it at that point, because I think mentally having that in my mind would be helpful. So I'm gonna talk to my coach. We could have talked today, but I think we're gonna talk tomorrow, both of us having traveled and both of us needing to catch up on all the things. I think we're gonna get on a call tomorrow and chat about it more. But one thing that is on my mind, just in terms of like kind of something that's a little bit out there. Well, it's not out there, but is maybe jumping into a regional show. So the Masters national shows, there's a couple of them coming out. There's also open national shows, and I could kind of go either way. But I really want to nail comparisons a little bit more, and it's like I've gotten a lot better, but it's something that I think will get even better with time. So anyways, that's it for a quick update for right now. I'd love to know if anyone has any, questions, thoughts, or feelings of being able to relate. Let's connect on that. But truly, like, so grateful. Like, the messages that I've gotten, the text, the friends who are like not even in bodybuilding and don't fully understand it and like took the time to like reach out to me that day or to just show support and love, as well as the bodybuilding community. Like, it means so much to me. I feel like this is the first year where I'm starting to believe in myself as much as, you guys are. Like, as cheesy as that sounds, like, I'm like, I see it. I see that the work has been laid. And, a big part of being confident in yourself, honestly, just comes from preparation. Like, that is the number one indicator of your confidence, is how much time and preparation you put into something. And I think putting my heart and soul into this and seeing like the path, like, I just believe in it in a way that wasn't possible. But I guess what I want to say is that, like, part of that too has come from having so many voices who believe in me. And thanks for listening to this 2 days post-show tired, rambly thoughts. Let's see where we take this season.